Next, we'll look at how you set up samples or templates of transactions that you create all the time. This will avoid repeated keying in when creating the transaction. Say for example, in the nature of your business, you sell a particular configuration of computer. What you can do is to set up a sample transaction that have the configuration of the computer predefined with the default quantity as well as the price. So we'll look at how you can set up such a default configuration of transaction. To create sample transaction in UBS.control, you go into transaction and under non-accounting bill, select option full. And when you press add, the system is now ready for you to set up a sample transaction, and you automatically assign a reference number for you. Now in order to create a sample transaction, you have to first of all create a sample customer. So in this case, our debtor account number starts with 3,000 and I'll assign a number of 999. Now it's going to tell me that there's no such account in the ledger and whether I want to create this, and I'll say yes. And I'll give this customer a name called sample customer. Okay, and then I'll set the date to the 1st of January. So I then accept the header information, and now I can enter the detail of the sample transaction. Now what I'm going to do is to set the item using the service facility. So I'll click on service. Now as per example, we are setting a sample to default the configuration of our computer. So in this case, we call it as actually Acer computer that we are selling. So I give you a description called Acer computer. In order to enter the configuration of the computer, I'll click on the comment box, and this will bring out a free format text area in order for me to enter the detail. So as per our example, our Acer computer that we're selling has a configuration of having one parallel port with 2 serial port and it's got a 2.1 gigabyte hard drive and 1 CD-ROM and with 64 megabyte RAM. Now once I've entered the configuration, I then just save it. Now I can also set the unit price for the machine. So in this case, the unit price, I set it to 2,200. So each time I sell a unit of Acer computer, it will be charged as $2,200. Once I've done that, I press save, and this will save the detail for me, and I'll press accept. Once we've set up the sample templates, next we're going to generate an invoice using the sample. So you go into transaction and select option E, generate, and under that option 1, sample to invoice. To generate a sample invoice using the template, you have to first of all select the sample that you're going to use. So in this case, we'll select the one that we've just set up, and the system will automatically assign the next invoice number, and you specify the customer that you're going to generate the invoice for. So in this case, we're going to generate the invoice to Centronic, and the date of the invoice is on the 16th of January 2000. So once you've defined that, you press apply. Now as you can see, the message, it says that the invoice has been duplicated successfully. Okay, if you now exit from here and go into print bill and select invoice, and select the invoice that we've just generated, which is 303. And we're going to do a preview. Now as you can see, the sample invoice is generated to include the default description that we have defined in our sample invoice. and it shows that the quantity is 1 and the unit price is $2,200 as per our sample. Congratulations, you now know how to maintain non-accounting related bills using the UBA stock control system.